Next up, we have Sivuyile Manxoyi, who is the manager of the Salt Collateral Benefits Program here at ASSA. He's going to talk about some of the incredible work that he and his team have been doing over the past decade or so. And we don't do anything. Is your talk on there? That one?
Yeah.
Stop us. Okay, cool. You can click on the arrow on the right. That one's okay. There's a pointer in the middle.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Still good morning. Yeah. My name is Sivuyile. I work for, as Daniel has introduced me, I work for the South African Astronomical Observatory, which is based here in Cape Town and also in Sutherland. And it is the facility of the National Research Foundation. So I'm responsible for leading a group of passionate and committed colleagues who are doing science engagement across the country. Because there was a time when it was only the South African Astronomical Observatory in terms of facilities that was doing outreach based on astronomy. Okay, but things have changed. There's a lot of science centers, there's a number of facilities that are out there. Okay, so I'll just briefly describe what we do, and I just assume that most of the people from ASSA know what we do, but okay, I'll just explain, and then just maybe raise or highlight some of the opportunities, that we see as SABP, in which we can collaborate with members of ASSA. Okay, first and foremost, I think I have to acknowledge and express my gratitude to the Cape Center, Devon Center, and also members of ASSA in general. And I already explained that I lead a team of very committed and very passionate colleagues who are based here in Cape Town and others based in Sutherland. So I just put this picture here to show some of them. This picture was taken in the library in Sutherland, and this was we were doing a week-long training with the Center for Astronomical Heritage, which is led by members of ASSA, namely Orke and also Edward Foster. So we spent time going through just theory, astronomy, and then we also did some studies. We also got to spend about 3 nights doing some studies and also searching for those deep objects, working with the deep sky. So that was then. So I just want to say we already have a good relationship with members of ASSA, particularly the Cape Center. We have worked with them quite a lot in different projects. They've contributed to our open nights. Some of them, like Ketchel, like Christian, like Billy, have joined us when we're doing stargazing, like in Langai, in Stellenbosch, in Philippi, which is playing. They've been part of the activity. So already we do have a relationship with ASSA. All right, let's just to acknowledge that. So basically, our division is like a science engagement division, right? We focus on communicating the relevance, the beauty, and the power of astronomy, right? And our intention is to translate this into tangible programs that are meaningful to our audiences. So that's one part. The second part, we do a lot of socio-economic development programs in the area where our site is located, where the Southern African Large Telescope and other telescopes. And I'm assuming that the majority of your colleagues have been to Sutherland. I'm just making that assumption. If you have not been there, I'd like to encourage you to visit Sutherland. You see the beautiful skies there. I'm sure you enjoy doing your studies, right? So as I've said before, I'll try just to highlight some of the opportunities. I'll briefly describe what we do, but I think I'll actually do some, just appeal to you, like in areas in which you can contribute or in areas in which you can collaborate in activities. And just to emphasize that, I've said this, to professional astronomers, and they've heard it, that involvement of amateur astronomers and also professional astronomers excites our audiences, and like it raises the level of engagement. People they would ask questions to us, right? But if there's an amateur astronomer, professional astronomer, they become excited. Then there's a number of questions that are raised by the people, and lots of conversation take place. But apart from that, I think it's the lasting impact on the audiences. Like people say, we saw a real astronomer. I've told one of my colleagues, Steve Porter, like they want to see a real astronomer. So we had a session here and interacted with the learners. Okay. So in terms of our approach, we've been doing this different activities, different things, and we have noticed, through experience that I think it is important, like when we do activities with different audiences, that we create resources, leave people with some kind of resources, identify some people and create networks. So like for different activities, we'll have lots of networks. Like we work with teachers, so we've got lots of teacher networks from Eastern Cape, from Free State, either on WhatsApp or on email, and we kind of distribute resources through those networks, right? And the other thing is it's good to establish structure. Because all the people have networks, we've got structure, we've got resources, then there will be sustainability. Even if you are the leader or ourselves at SA will leave, the networks will still be there, the resources that have been created will be there, and the activities can still proceed even if we are not there. So it's important to create networks, identify people, set up structures, committees, get people involved, right? So that results in sustainability. So in different areas that we work in science education, so we work with teachers, with schools, with the Department of Education. Our focus is largely within education, teacher training, support and development. So we work with science centers and the universities. We have got a close relationship with the University of Cape Town, with the University of Stellenbosch. We are developing with the University of the Western Cape. Our relationship is so strong. And then the University of Limpopo, all right? So we do a lot of teacher support, we create some resources, and then we have programs that are based on careers, and we are directly involved with the schools. We do activities at the schools themselves. And then the science communication and science awareness, we participate in science festivals, we have public lectures, webinars, we have open nights, we participate in different career exhibitions. So that's there. And then in Sutherland, our most successful program in terms of in the astronomy, right? And I'll speak more about that. And we try to encourage the public debates, public lectures. And this has suffered a bit. We've tried to establish science clubs, astronomy clubs in various communities, but I'll speak about it later. Okay. So in terms of teacher training, our teachers are expected to teach a theme called Earth and Beyond. This is largely based on astronomy, but the majority of our teachers have never been exposed to this. It was never part of their content during their training, right? But now with the introduction, it's part of the curriculum. And what happens is that this is taught towards in this quarter, in the fourth quarter, they just leave it, or they'll just talk about solar system because it was there and then nothing is done, right? And the new teachers who are joining the system, who are part of the system now, it's part of their training. So the younger teachers will be much more comfortable teaching, but the old teachers that have been in the system are very uncomfortable. Okay, this is a picture was taken in a place called Eswatini. It's at the border of South Africa and Swaziland, and it's a few kilometers. They say we can even walk to Mozambique. So this is just to show our reach, just show this picture, just to show our reach, because we've worked in almost all the provinces. So as I said before, we collaborate with the provincial departments of education. We also work with the science center. So basically, in terms of we've noticed that teachers are uncomfortable teaching Earth and beyond, and from grade 10 to grade 12, right? What they call the FET phase, teachers are expected to use astronomy as a context, right? So because there's limited content that's there. Okay, SALT is part of that. Grade 11 now are expected to do a project that's based. That's why we know that in September, August, we'll be getting a lot of requests for people to be able to astronomer on SALT or asking for resources because they've got this project which is prescribed as part of the curriculum, right? But we notice that there's a lot of misconceptions working with teachers. Lots of misconceptions, mostly based on language, right? Because the misconceptions are based on language, but also like optical illusions. And most of them, of these misconceptions, are actually in the textbooks themselves, right? Lots of in the text. So I'd like to encourage our astronomers, not so much astronomers, to be part of these subject committees. The lot of subject committees, if you are interested to be part of that, can let me know, we invite you. But some of our astronomers are already part of this to correct this. Okay, but we also have other in terms of education, other activities that we run, like the astronomy things, but now it's run online, right? We used to run this in person. This is specifically for grade levels, right? So schools elect their team that participate in this. So they are given a set of questions. They are provided with a resource that informs them about the history of astronomy in South Africa, you know, and does basic astronomy. So they have to read about all the telescopes in South Africa, history, you know, the different objects, and then they answer the question, the multiple choice question, right? This has been one of the very successful projects, and now it is run online and it's done nationally. Okay. We also provide career information programs that are based on career information. One of the most successful projects is the Job Shadow program, where students come to the observatory and spend time here, interact. In the beginning, it was limited to astronomers, but now it's been extended to engineers and other people in the observatory. Okay. This is just to show just an introduction to science awareness and science communication. You can see this picture. This was taken in Mitchell's Plain. Okay, there's a lot of light around because it was next to the mall. But we can see one of the members, staff member of the SAO, and a member of Cape Center Christian. So he was part of this. And also we went to Stellenbosch, right? You can see Petri was talking about, I think Petri and Charles, they were talking about getting them young and how they were introduced to astronomy when they were young. This I just showed just to show you. This was in Stellenbosch, and then we were watching, just doing some studies, and you can see it's very young ladies, all right? In terms of science awareness, we've got public lectures that are done here at SAO. So every second Saturday, every fourth Saturday, there's a lecture here. You are welcome to come. You just have to book. There'll be a lecture, and then people are taken outside for a tour of the site, and then studies, right? Okay, there are challenges that are linked to that also. You know that in terms of numbers, we're limited, in terms of the location, right? And I'll talk when I happen to you as members of us, right? So also we've got tours here in Cape Town, we've got tours in Sutherland. So the observatory is open for tours for the public, okay? And we also have visitor centers here in Cape Town, due to be open, but there's one that's working already in Sutherland. And we like to appeal, you know, like you've been to different visitor centers across the world, you have ideas on exhibits, please share those with us. You know, like an experience we've seen a beautiful exhibit. And I'd like to thank Dr. Ian Glasses here, the member of ASSA also, and because they've contributed so much in the construction of exhibits that we have here in Cape Town that we've used for outreach and exhibits that are in Sutherland, right? So in terms of communication, we provide space for astronomers to do interviews, right? There's a lot of press releases that are done within my division. Then people are able to host, provide space for astronomers to be interviewed on radio, on TV, etc. Daniel has worked on a number of planetarium shows. You know, I'm sure you know about them. There's one on the rising star, right? On the science of astronomy in South Africa. There's one that's based on our indigenous astronomy. But also I have done a lot of human countries and try to communicate with the public through social media. Okay. In terms of social development in Sutherland, as mentioned before, I mean, with the construction of salt, it transformed the town of Sutherland into a tourist destination. So we host about 12,000 visitors in Sutherland annually, right? And because of the construction of salt, we have seen a rise in the number of guest houses. Currently, there are 44 guest houses and there are 18 guest farms, right? And the Sutherland Hotel also has been reopened, okay? And this created opportunities for people to be employed in the town, right? And we've seen a rise of arts and crafts, and I'd like to encourage, if you visit Sutherland, please do support the arts and crafts that's rising there in the town, and please do support the guest houses and the guest farms. Spend some time there. It boosts the economy of the town, right? And I'd like to highlight, because I'm sure there are colleagues from the Durban Center, they have made it an annual pilgrimage. They go there to Sutherland every year, and they do activities also with the people in the location. And I'd like to encourage other members of ASSA in the different centers, mainly Johannesburg, also to use the opportunity to visit Sutherland and also interact with the local community. They need to do some stargazing with them, right? Okay, in terms of opportunities, as I mentioned before, the first one, I think, first in terms of education, I'd like to encourage members of us to link up with the neighboring schools in your community, because they do need teachers, and the schools do need your knowledge, especially in the part of the teaching of the S and beyond. They do, if you do have time to do studies, please contact the nearest school, or you need some support from us as SCDB will provide support. We can contact the schools. Maybe you are shy to contact the school, and we have schools that can host already. They are asking, when I come for stargazing, or you can join the team of SCDB in going to schools like other people have done, right? But also, like I mentioned, the Astro Quiz, these learners, they compete with others in other schools. So there are people from a science center in Cape Town, it's retired people who volunteer to work with groups of learners. It's about them. They don't know, they're not so well-versed in terms of astronomy, but they can read the book and explain to the learner while they read. But if you have someone who is already into astronomy, it will be much more impactful and meaningful for the learners. So I'd like to encourage you to be part of those. And it's happening, it doesn't matter where you are, because the astronomy quiz is national. So we can even encourage you, maybe if they're not participating, maybe initiate them, get them involved. Okay. And then also the stargazing. Like I mentioned with the open nights. The open nights, excellent, right? They're here and lectures are given, and people are taken up and they're doing the tours and the observatory, they do the stargazing. But very few people from the townships come to the open night. Yeah? We don't get people from historical area. Hence, we initiated ourselves, to say, let's take the astronomy to the people. Let's do the stargazing there in those. And this competition Astro Quiz has helped us, because if learners are participating, they are learning about these objects. It's much easier to say to the school, because during this quarter, you're doing S and beyond, we need this thing, don't want us to show you this object. Because, friends and colleagues, astronomy at schools is taught as a boring subject. Well, it's taught as a boring subject, teacher will come. But our workshops are there to deal with that, to say this thing. All these things you can observe. You're learning about face of the, why don't you observe this thing? You're learning about planets, why don't you observe this thing? The sky is absolutely to all of us. You can observe these things with the naked eye. There's a telescope we can use and it makes astronomy exciting once they see this. Then I start asking questions, why this, how this? They want to observe again. You know, like we've heard stories that they saw this, they are looking at it again, they want to see what's going to happen the following day. Maybe it's the planet, right? So I like to appeal to members of ASSA to be involved maybe with the astrophysicist team or with the stargazing exposed. I know South Africa, there's a lot of problems of violence and crime. I mean, I don't think we must be honest about that, that some of the townships in Cape Town have been classified as the mega capitals. You know, as I think Nyanga is classified as the mega capital. But we have been there, Christian has been there, you know, Ketchel has been there, we've been there with some people, we've gone there to Nyanga, because we can organize the police, we can talk with the community police forum, and it is safe for everyone. So I'd like to encourage members of ASSA to go out and be part of those stargazing, taking astronomy out of the usual sites, but to those people who are far from astronomy. Okay, I'm talking about open nights and public stargazing. The other opportunity is in the science festivals. There are science festivals across the country. The provincial festival, there's a national science festival that's held in Grahamstown. There's another one held in Stapleton called TechnoX, right? And then there are provincial festivals. They need this, you know, and SASA is providing through DSI, is providing support for people to do this thing. If you are interested and you are not willing to apply for support, maybe work through us, through SCBP, we can apply for the funds for you to attend. They'll cover all the costs for you to be part of the festival, all right? I mean, like the Scope X, we've been there ourselves, all right? That focuses, but to get people that are already convinced, you know, about astronomy. But if you go to the national science, you get different people. Some have never been exposed, and I like to encourage members of ASSA to go to these festivals, Okay, this was okay to go to Sutherland. And what we have done from 2011, 2012, we have been doing what is called street astronomy, just taking a telescope and just going anywhere and showing the people this. You know, sometimes people run away. Like when we have the telescope, they want to rob me, want to know. You know, it's not an easy process. It's not like people will come, you know, and we've discovered that like what I've done is to take my family, bring my kids, bring my wife, and people stand there in a queue. If they stand in the queue, then people want to stand because they can see that the people are already standing in the queue. They come and join. What is it I want to see also? And you know, like stargazing generates a lot of conversation. You know, why is this? How is this? So like what the astronomy inspires curiosity, and then people want to read about this. So it's a beautiful science. It's a beautiful science. So we can inspire people to think and to go and read more about it. Okay. So we're trying this street astronomy thing, taking telescope to various areas, and we're hoping that this will reach out to different communities. And what we've done in the past, like during eclipses, there will be events here at SAO, and people will come here at SAO. But I'm taking activities to Nyanga, then the terminal. I'm taking activities to Cape Town to see people there in the taxi event. People see the eclipse because it's okay to have the base, but we also need to reach out to the, you know, like the excitement, the joy that we experience, we share with others. We share with others. Okay. And then I think, the NRF now is emphasizing a lot about engaged research. You know, then we have to think about how we conduct our research, right? Usually we have a group of astronomers collaborating, you know, and then they understand this, and the public is only maybe at the receiving end. You know, they'll get the results of what the investigation or the research was about. It's just shared with them at the end. But they're encouraging to get the public involved, even in the initial stages. And I guess it's difficult for astronomy, but I mean for environmental science, because people are already working in the environment. So it's much easier to do that. right? To get the people, because they are already there. But there's an opportunity because amateur astronomers are already involved in this. You know, they observe, they study. We saw here Tim explaining the meteorite, following, you know, that meteor, following it, and then they searching for it, you know. So this is an opportunity for even professional astronomers to collaborate now with the amateur astronomers and get even other people involved. You know, get other people involved. This is an opportunity for amateur astronomers to collaborate with the professional astronomers because the NRF is heading in that direction. That people must not only receive the products of research, they must be able to be involved, to ask questions. And I mean, like citizen science provides also an opportunity to collaborate. The amateur astronomers and the public, and there are a number of different examples. I think we have participated in the astro research. Unfortunately, like my group never we never identified any asteroid, but there were people, you know, within the group, like in Australia and India, that discovered things. But I think there's space for collaboration and space to get other people who are far from astronomy or who are outside of astronomy to be involved. And I'd like to really appeal to members of us to share their experience, share their joy, share their knowledge with those that are outside. Now, even professional astronomers, especially the black astronomers, black professional astronomers, need to be part of ASSA also. They need to be involved. They need to be involved. I know they've got lots of responsibilities, but I think it's important that we have them as part of ASSA. And we need a lot of people. I know ASSA is a voluntary organization. People join because they want to be part of it, right? But I mean, I've been to London, I've been to Sydney, Australia. There are lots, if you can just check that magazine, Astronomy Now, that's based in London. Just check there and look at the back or in the second page, they usually have the list of astronomy clubs. You see that just in London, how many astronomy clubs are there? Look at in Sydney, just look how many astronomy clubs are there. So it's important that this is not only us that are fortunate to be working within astronomy. We need to take it to the people, involve the other people, involve the other people. Of course, it's a voluntary organization. People don't want to interested, but other people are not aware. That's why we tell even teachers, we refer them to our website. We say there's a website. You can go to the SAO website. You can go to ASSA website. You can go to Sarao website. You can go to SASTA website. But in almost every town, big cities, there is an ASSA center. And you can go link up with them, talk to them and say, you need this help. And we've collaborated. I mean, like, we are not there ourselves, but we ask colleagues from Devon to go to a school and do stargazing there, because we have provided a telescope for that school, right? We left a telescope, myself and Muzan, we left a telescope for that school, but we wanted to make sure that the telescope is being used. So we requested the colleagues from the Devon Center to visit the school and do stargazing, and they are using the telescope in the school. That's the report we got. So I'd like to appeal to you colleagues to share the knowledge, share your joy. And lastly, as part of our Sutherland 2022, one of the things that we want to establish is an astronomy club, community-based astronomy club in Sutherland. Right? We've started the process. The people in Sutherland, they're exposed to this beautiful sky. They have access to our facilities, and they hear about astronomy. But we want them to have the same experience as members of us. We want them to look at the sky themselves. Maybe they can also provide, you know, like stargazing experiences for some of the visitors they're in the town. All right. Thank you, colleagues. That is all that I have to say.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks for your passion and enthusiasm. That's why we run over.
Also, that's why I asked you.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So we are running a little bit late. Apparently they're not hearing us so well. I don't know, Christian, if like there's anything we can do. I've turned it around. Let me know online if that's any better. Are there any questions from in the room yet? I didn't see anything online. So in the interest of time, we'll move on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Sure.